welcome back to my channel. Recently, I talked about my all-time favorite horror books, and in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you my all-time favorite thrillers. I don't have as many favorite thrillers as I do horror because I think I'm a lot more picky when it comes to the thrillers that I enjoy. I've actually done an entire video talking about what I like and don't like in thrillers. I think it's been a lot harder for me to find tons of favorites, but the favorites that I do have are like top tier, amazing 5-star books. So the first two that I have here are by the same author who I have come to completely fall in love with this year, and that is Ashley Winstead. The first book that I read from her was In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife. This is a thriller that follows this group of friends in college, and while they were in college, one of the friends in the group was murdered, and another friend from the group was the suspect. And now it is their 10-year college reunion, and they are all gathering for the first time, and someone is determined to find out who the real killer was. So this book takes place in two timelines. One is in the past when they were in college, and then the other is present day at the reunion. And I loved this book. If you like thrillers that just have the messiest drama, you're gonna love this. Like, the drama was so good. I actually have my live reaction to reading the ending of this book. I knew it! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The main character in this is definitely an unlikable woman who I just love. That's gonna be kind of a common theme throughout all these thrillers, is unlikable women who are very likable to me. And this one was just so much fun. Now, almost opposite of that is The Last Housewife. While I think In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife is a very fun thriller, this one is a very dark thriller. So this is about a sex cult and this group of friends in college who get drawn in by the father of their roommate and find themselves in a sex cult. One of those friends commits suicide, and then many years later, the main character is listening to a true crime podcast, and they are talking about another friend from that group who has recently also committed suicide. And that kind of draws her back into investigating what happened, wondering if maybe these weren't suicides, if the cult murdered them. This very much has influences from the Nixium cult, as well as I forget which school it was, I'll put it on the screen, but there was another very similar sex cult situation at a college. And I think the combination of those two cases really inspired this book. This is another one where you have a main character who has moments of being unlikable, but I loved her. There's also a podcast element in here. I loved this. Both of these are some of my favorite books of the year, and I will now read everything that Ashley Winstead publishes. So the next one is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is another thriller that takes place in a college, but in this one we are following a professor who has made it her mission to punish men on campus who get away with their crimes against women. So sexual assault, violence. These are all men who have done terrible things and gotten away with it, and she is like, enough is enough. I am seeking justice. I am vengeance. I am Batman, and I'm gonna take them out. So she's been doing this for a long time, but now the school is kind of putting pieces together that all of these different men are mysteriously dying, and they bring in an FBI agent to investigate it. The school is now kind of under a microscope. I was obsessed with this book. This book is everything that I wanted the Promising Young Woman movie to be that wasn't. Like, that movie did not deliver. This book, however, she delivered. There's also a sapphic romance in here that I loved. I just highly recommend this one. Something that I have said that I love in thrillers is following the point of view of the killer, and this one just does it amazingly. And speaking of following the point of view of a killer, we have my absolute idol, my icon, my queen, the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abby. In this book, we are following Lana, who is a serial killer. When she was younger, this group of boys in her town brutally attacked her, and ever since then she has been training and preparing to get revenge and take them all out. So she has been doing this. She's been slowly working her way through the list, and the FBI has taken notice that there is a new serial killer in town. One day Lana is at a little coffee shop and she meets this guy who is very cute. They hit it off. She gives him her number. They start dating. Well, it turns out that her new boyfriend is actually the FBI agent who is investigating this new serial killer, and he has no idea that she is the serial killer. So there's romance in here, but I think that this book while it is marketed kind of as romance, it's much more like thriller heavy than it is romance. She's probably my all-time favorite character. I love her so much, and I've never in my life rooted for a character more. This series is very, very dark. A lot of trigger warnings. I think of all of the books that I'm mentioning in this video, this is the darkest because the things that happened to her were horrific. It also does not shy away from showing how brutal her murders are. Like, she makes these men pay in blood. It's just so good. I'm obsessed with it. Highly recommend. Definitely disregard the cover. The cover's terrible, okay? I know that. We get it. The cover is terrible. The story is amazing. Okay, the next two that I have, I don't 100% know that I would say thriller is the main genre, but these are both, I think, under the thriller umbrella. So we have The Push by Ashley Audrain. This one is more of like a psychological drama, but it definitely, I think, has thriller elements to it. This one basically follows this woman who has had a terrible experience with motherhood. Not only as a daughter, her own mother was very neglectful, but then when she became a mother, she did not feel an emotional attachment to her daughter. She actually thought her daughter was like, there was something wrong with her. She was evil. She fully believes her daughter is evil and is incapable of loving her. The book is written as a letter to her ex-husband, kind of explaining everything that happened, everything that she was feeling, why she felt the way that she did. I think this book is a very interesting examination on motherhood and sort of the intense pressures that people put on mothers to be perfect. I loved every second of it. It was amazing. And then the last one that I have here also kind of borders thriller and horror, and I think it is classified technically as a horror, but I consider it to be more of a thriller, and that is The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. So this book is kind of hard to describe because for pretty much 70% of the book, you have no clue what's going on. Okay, you're just lost and you're along for the ride. But basically, this is about this town where a long time ago, this little girl went missing, and one of the main characters was sort of the prime suspect, but there was never any evidence, so he wasn't convicted for it. You're following multiple perspectives. One of them is that guy who was the suspect. You're also following a detective who has a connection to that little girl, and she is sort of reopening the case, trying to solve it. And then you're also following the perspective of a cat. Yeah, a cat. So this book has so many twists and turns. Again, this book is hard to describe because the main thing with this book is a spoiler. It's one of those books where you kind of just have to trust the process. You're gonna be confused and it's not gonna make sense, but it all comes together at the end. So those were my all-time favorite thrillers. In the comments, I would love to know what your favorite thriller is. I am always needing new recommendations since it's very hard for me to find ones that I truly love as much as these. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!